Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is Juan from the Yugioh coming to you today with the an updated combo on this Runick Spright Ghostricks. I've been getting a lot of comments on the Spright Duelist page on Facebook and a couple other things, and people just really want to know how the combo is done and what does it ultimately achieve, and is it that much better than running like a live twin package, or is it better than running any other variants, or just without the Runick, or what exactly does this do, and like why is it better in my opinion? And I'm going to show you guys a couple of test hands and the reason why it works and the reason why I think it's beneficial to run in this format. Reminder to everyone, this Ghostrick shot is the only brick in the deck. You can run other bricks, but I'm just going to leave it like that. This is the only brick in the deck, like I said, so we're just going to leave it like that. And I'll let y'all guys know. I'll do a couple test hands with it, and we'll shuffle it up. As you can see, it's all randomized here. So there's no clumping. I decided to take this out, so we'll do the first hand without it, so that way you can see basically just what it does. I'll do a couple test hands with it in, and then I'll do a test hand with me drawing it, and obviously it went in on the full combo. So just to show you the ups and downs of running the card, and then the absolute down of running the card. But all in all honesty, this card is absolutely nuts. So I just wanted to show y'all what it's like to get it, get the combo. How does it work? How does it benefit me? And how will this achieve winning a board into my hand? So first we're going to draw a hand of 5. Alright, so it's pretty good. We drew double tip, blue jet, and a cap shell. So now you can either get fountain here, or you can you do need the level 2 body, so I would say tip for Yugioh in the draw phase, and you're probably just going to discard the cap shell. You have way too many good cards to not discard the cap shell, or you can discard the jet. It's all up to you. So you Yugioh here in the draw phase. We'll just discard the jet since we already have the blue. And then let's just say this goes uninterrupted, and we'll just get us our fountain, just to say, okay. And then we would go standby to main, probably normal the cap shell, and then we would, in this case, so a lot of people won't really tell you, but I would definitely special the blue to get the jet. You're going to lose to nib in this hand regardless, so I would definitely get the jet now. That way you can get yourself a starter off that if you needed it. And then, so if this hand gets nibbed, which a lot of people are running nib, you have no way to summon your jet out because you don't have another extender, which would mean 2 Runick spells. So you need 2 Runick spells with different names, and you obviously don't have that right now. You can get a cap shell draw, but that's not guaranteed, so we're going to go ahead and special into this jet and get our starter. This just lets us play. If we do get nibbed, we are able to starter for another blue. It won't do nothing, but the blue and the nib token will turn into a sprint, and then lets us go full combo either way. So then you take your Yugioh and this here. Let me see, I'm gonna put that in a different spot. Yugioh and the jet, and then you turn it into your first succubus there, and then you just overlay that on top of that, and then you detach, use the Angel of Mischief to detach from the succubus to search the Ghostrick shot. Oh yeah, we took it out prior to the combo, so we wouldn't draw it. And then you're going to use your Ghostrick shot to revive the succubus, and then you're going to overlay that. for a second Angel of Mischief, and then you're going to overlay the double Angel of Mischief for your Utopic Future and your Utopic Draco Future. And then from here you use your jet or your blue and your cap shell to make your Sprint, and then Sprint effect will send an Angler. You will send Angler to summon double beavers. And then there you go. And then so it'll be Sprint 1, Capsule 2, sorry. And then you'll resolve Angler. So we'll go ahead and get this draw first. The draw is very important because that's normally what you get off your Gigantic is the draw, and it will also have a chance to get us another Runick spell. So we'll just draw one. It's a Smashers, doesn't matter, it's fine. We're still going to make our Gigantic here. I like to just end on a Gigantic. Gigantic will detach 1 to summon us out. I would always summon out Carrot here. Now this is one of the weaker boards because you don't have the IP in the inboard. If you want, you don't have to get a Carrot here because you do have your starter. You could just summon a blue, let's say. Let's just summon the blue. Just because I want to end on the most practical board here. So you just summon the blue, take 11, and then you just turn these two into your IP, which is still really good. Because you do have the tip, so you are going to Fountain for 3 on your opponent's turn. And you do have a starter and a Smasher, so this starter will get you the Carrot. You can even get it now if you want, so you can do it now. Get the Carrot, take 1,000, and then you have your ultimate board. Bounce, Spell and Trap, negate, double banish, negate and a steal. And this can, if it does steal, it will allow this to make the free Little Knight, and then you can tip on your opponent's turn for basically anything based on the first card they play, and or if you know what they're playing, just go ahead and search something out. You can search one of these 3 out, or the safest card is Freezing Curses. We already drew 2 freeze. I think no, we just do a double tip, so you can search one of the utility cards here. They're all really good, and then or you can just draw, phase, tip, search, and then search the Slumber, and then activate Slumber on like IP so it can't be destroyed by battle, and then Fountain for 3 after that, and then you get 3 draws. So, but I always like to get at least 1 card that's an interruption, and then get my 3 draws based off something else, and then you still got to banish. So basically this is let's just get the 3 draws just so you can see about what it might be. We'll give ourselves the safest one, which is Freezing Curses. We'll Fountain for 2. That way we can just Fountain for 2. You normally wait to Fountain for 3, but we're just going to show you just about what it is and what the ultimate hand will look like. And this hand was actually pretty good, pretty average. The double tip is obviously amazing, but you need kind of all your cards to be live, so that's one of the bad parts. So then we'll just draw 2. As you can see, pretty good cards. Imperm's probably not that great, but now we have 2 interruptions here. 3, 4, 5 technically, 6, 7, 8. So 8 interruptions, and on top of that, you still got your whole Runick engine live. And the Little Knight play is obviously really good. So that's 8 interruptions. So if you think you can play around 8 interruptions, you're mistaken. So, and that was obviously not even a great board. So crazy what you can do with the deck. So we'll just keep doing test hands. I'll put the Ghostrick shot inside the main deck this time, so we can draw it or not draw it, or whatever happens. I just wanted to show you generally about what happens if you do or don't draw it. And what the end result will get you somewhere. So we'll throw it in the mix there, shuffle it up, and that was test hand 1, 8 interruptions with 2 tips. So really good. We had and we still had an imperm, we could set next turn. Imperm's really good. I like imperm because it doesn't get hit by thrust right now or talents, but obviously, you know, it's not that great. And you normally want to draw two Runick spells that you can activate, so that way you can get the use double Hugin and get your fountain for 2 on your turn. And if it gets Ash, that's fine. It eats a hand trap, and there's blue that eats hand traps. Gigantic that eats hand traps. So there's a ton of cards in this deck. Hugin eats the most hand traps. So there's tons of cards in this deck that eat hand traps before. So I'll give it a little cut, a little try cut. And then we'll go ahead and draw our 5. See what we draw. Jet Smashers, Tip, Destruction, and Imperm. So all these cards are actually really, really good. So here, in a sense, where you don't want to discard any of these cards because they're all pretty good, but you do want to still have your Hugin. I like to draw phase, tip, search fountain. That lets you see what your opponent's playing, and gets you your fountain guaranteed because you know your Hugin might get you know your Hugin's going to get eaten by a hand trap. It always does. So this way it protects your stuff. And if your tip gets ashed, then you still have one more way to get to fountain. So you're fine. And you can always just discard the smashers. So as I'm saying, then you go into main phase. And then you go ahead and activate that fountain there. And then first thing you do is destruction for Hugin. Obviously Hugin's the main one, so you're going to Hugin for 1, or then you're going to go fountain for 2. No Hugin effect. I really like to keep the smashers. This is one of the unknown cards in the deck that people don't really know I'm playing, so I like to do that. Then we're going to draw 2 cards. We drew a fountain, and we drew a dispelling, so still pretty decent. You can actually get another draw off that if you want. You can activate another fountain and then activate dispelling and then continue on your combo. But that's not what we're going to do. We might, but I don't think we've got to do that. So you just special summon Jet here. Jet searches starter. And then you go ahead and go combo here. Once again, you just use Hugin and any level 2 for the Succubus. And then you go Angel of Mischief. Angel of Mischief has to detach the Succubus. And you search the shot. The shot will then get you there. It will then revive this. And then you just overlay the other. It's very bread and butter. It's great at doing what it's supposed to do. Like right here, normally once you summon this guy, you get nibbed. I guess next hand I'll show you what happens if you get nibbed here, because your opponent has to nib you here or else they lose. They nib you here, and then if they don't, you just make this and you win. Or you put them on imperm nib, and then which is that case it's like it does out a lot of boards anyway, so you're fine with that. So then you can just start her. So or you can just start her. So we open Jet, so you start her for blue. Blue will search you out, Carrot. So that way you can have your spell trap negate without having to need it. So this way, if they do put you on it, they're just going to have to nib imperm you right now or they lose. So this board will get nib impermed, and then you just steal Runick Dispelling, summon a Hugin, and then use that to make sprint and still keep going. So the deck, like I said, is really, really, really nice on what it can do and what it can avoid. So these are just small implications of what I like to do. So then I'm just gonna summon this Carrot out here to the far left. Sorry, it's a little blurry. And then we're gonna go ahead and replace this fountain real quick. Just because we did draw 2 fountains. And we're gonna activate Dispelling to summon a monster. And here you can summon Jerry. So Jerry's effect will get you back this fountain that you just used. And then your fountain will resolve shuffling 1 to draw 1. So we will shuffle since we searched off starter. That's really good because you always get a shuffle before you draw. If you search generally through your combo, so that way your Runick spells aren't on the bottom, because all your Runick stuff searches, the Ghostrick engine searches, so you normally don't have them all at the bottom, which is really good because you need to have them somewhere near the top or mid. So we're going to get a quick little upstart here, get us an Ash, get us the Fountain back, and then we still got an upstart. So the Jerry plus the blue will turn into a Sprint. And the Sprint will go ahead and send us a Angler. And obviously we know Angler is full combo, so Angler for the Beaver, double Beaver here. And we've already got our blue and our jet in the rotation, so we don't need any of those. So our Gigantic's just going to get us the Cap Shell. The Cap Shell is really good because it is a Fiend, so you can revive it with Muckracker, basically unlimited negates, and they always get you a draw. And then Muckracker's protection effect is actually really, really nice. Being able to tribute a Fiend or herself to protect a card on the field is like super underrated, I think, and not a lot of people respect it, but they definitely should. So we're gonna go here with the Cracker, the Muckracker. I mean the Cap Shell and the Gigantic. I'm sorry. And then you're gonna make the IP Masquerena. Now you're gonna shuffle because we just Cap Shelled. Then we're going to get our upstart again. So opponent cuts right in half. Then we get a blue. That's fine. That's nothing big. And then we just, that's it. That's basically our board there. We have a Fountain. We have a Ash Smasher's Imperm. So we have 3 interrupts here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 technically. And if we had any other Runick spell, we would definitely go plus, but it's fine. We needed the Runick spell to achieve the board, and obviously the Runick spells do so much in this deck that going first, you use them so much going first. But the great thing is that they're also going second cards, and they're amazing going second cards. Like I said, negate and steal, you use that to make your double Little Knight. If they don't use it, that's fine. Like I said, that's fine. So you can do other things. And let's just say you're so scared. You want to just normal this blue to make sure you have the Little Knight play. It doesn't matter. So like I said, you don't even normal in this deck. So unless you draw the Beaver. But like I said, this deck has so many ways to play through cards. This basically is Called by the Grave and an Econ in one card. So really, really solid. The fact that people are playing Imperm and Econ, this card's technically the same one, and then it has that beautiful can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's a really, really big protection effect that I think it's underrated and definitely should be looked at just a little bit more. We're gonna run it back. This time I'll play through like one hand trap, I think, and I'll let y'all know what it generally is supposed to do. All right, sorry about that. Now we're gonna play around a nib here, and we'll play around, I guess, a nib just to show you the combo. I mean, you generally know what to play around. So I'll just go ahead and show you what happens if we do get nibbed here, and what will happen. So maybe we draw the Ghostrick shot, and I just show you what happens in that combo. And literally, I've thought of every in and out to this deck, and what generally happens if you do draw certain cards or certain hands. So this deck is built to last. So this is one of our. This is actually a really good hand because it's really average. Yeah, this is a very, very, very average hand. So we will play it out the way it is supposed to be played out, and I will show you exactly what we are going to do here. In this version, we are definitely going to have to eat a hand trap to proc that. Even if we don't, we go full combo and we still go off. So the one time we're going to have to normal one of the worst guys in the game. It's fine. Then you're going to summon Jet effect, Surge Starter, and that's full combo. So you are in a perfectly great position. Now you got Starter. Then you can go here for Sprint. So in this case, you have no other level 2s. So you will just go directly for Sprint in this case, because you want to be safe and play it safe. You don't have no Runick spells to follow up on either. And I'm in between showing out what the 2 draws are or just making the talents dead. So we'll just make the talents dead for now because we'll just do it. So we did run 2 anglers. We'll send the other angler. Angler is probably really good. I even thought about bumping up angler to 3 just because of all the Runick spells, but I run 18 Runick spells and it seems to be impossible to draw one, but that's without a doubt. So I mean, this is really good that we didn't draw a single Runick spell, so I can show you even what the worst hands look like and how exactly we are going to get there without needing to get there. So then we're going to go here. And then we jump our Succubus right on top of that. And then, so this would be our 5th summon here, so if they want to nip us, that's perfectly fine. If they don't, that's perfectly fine. So, we make this. Then you do this. And then, because I know a lot of people like to nib once you've already wasted a lot of resources, so they think that you have wasted too much. And honestly, once this card goes to the grave or does anything, it will absolutely be nothing. And these cards in your extra deck, these Ghostrick cards, will absolutely be useless anyways. So once they're gone, they don't really hurt you, but I guess your opponent thinks that if they can make you out-resource them, then they might win. But honestly, this combo is so linear that if it gets stopped in any way, shape, or form, you just don't worry about it. You don't do the combo. So let's just say right here, we'll just say our opponent goes Nibiru. Yeah, so we get nibbed. We'll take that big nib. I mean, they'll get the nib, but we'll get the token, so it doesn't matter. So we get nibbed here. Then we're just going to start her for blue. And then blue will get us a... I don't know, did we get a jet? Yeah, we started with jet this turn, so blue will get us a carrot. And now we're 2 locked, so now basically we can do whatever we please. So this actually is a pretty good combo to show us getting nibbed in. Because we drew the talents, we will be getting 2 draws off that talents, and if we draw any Runick spells, we are golden. So we will talents for 2. Oh, that's really nice. And we drew a normal summon, which is also really nice, but we've already normal summoned, but that's perfectly fine. So we're basically going to get an upstart here. Pot of Greed, we're going to tip for 1. Doesn't matter which one. We can get the worst one, which is Dispelling. So that way it can go on the bottom. I'd like to say Dispelling is the worst. So they banish a card, then we're going to Dispelling for 1. And then Fountain for 2. And then we draw 2 cards. So we drew a starter, which is really good because we can get our red now on our opponent's turn. And we drew a Flashing Fire, which is a pop. Okay, so now we will, we haven't summoned Gigantic, so we will do that. And we keep the Hugin under bottom, so we can have a 3200 Gigantic. Detach blue, summon the Cap Shell. And then we are going to link the Nib token and the Cap Shell away into a IP Masquerena. And then we will summon our carrot out. It doesn't matter where. And then we will set the 1 starter. So these are our interrupts. We will get a red, a Flashing Fire, and a Ash Blossom with basically an upstart goblin. Or we can starter for a blue and search jet, and then use that to make your little knight there, and that's 2 banishes or 2 interrupts, 3 interrupts 4 interrupts, 5 interrupts, going through a hand trap. So they've wasted 1 card, and you have 5 interrupts. So obviously that is really, really solid. And that's through Nibiru, which is, I mean, that's probably one of the better hand traps in the game right now. So we will go through one more hand, I guess, and I will draw the Ghostrick shot. So basically all it does is just show you basically basic Runick Spright combos, or what will happen if you draw it. It doesn't make the deck dead. It just basically turns to basically what you just saw there. So I guess we don't need to draw it. We'll just do one more chest hand, and we'll either play through a different hand trap, or we'll show you basically another nib, or maybe 2 hand traps, maybe 2 smaller ones like a Veiler and an Ash. Because this deck can very easily play around nib. So it's crazy because normally you make Sprint with the nib token, but that hand was so average that we had to make Sprint with the to start. And the fact that we still ended up on 5 interrupts after we used our Sprint. That Sprint that got nibbed was that's really impressive. So even this deck just continues to impress me, because playing through a nib after you've used your Sprint, or before you use your Sprint, is really hard. And so we already used our Sprint, and we still made that pretty decent board there. So basically this deck just needs level 2s to go off, and if you get it to go off, you're golden. So we'll draw one more hand of 5, and I think that will conclude the video. We drew Dispelling, and wow, we always draw Fountain. Okay, so I mean, obviously Fountain is not even that great of a card to draw, but and we drew Table Beavers, so our we're not even gonna get 2 summons off that, but that's perfectly fine. So we're just gonna main phase. Yeah, we'll go main phase. We'll go ahead and Dispelling. Summon Yugioh. And then we'll go Fountain for 1 here. See what happens. There's a red. Might as well slap that red out there. Then we just normal summon the Beaver, effect to summon the Angler. So we are protected from nib in this play. So basically red is really nice. So I guess we can't even get stopped by nib. So if they were, they would have Veiler nib, Emperor nib, and let's just say they don't. But if they did, that'd be really nice. But that stops a lot of decks right now. So Ghostrick shot. Provide the Succubus, and then we'll slap this right on top. If you have any QCR Angel of Mischiefs, let me know. I am picking them up right now. I got ulti blues, everything else. Just need 2 of those to complete the deck. We drop the Draco Future right here. Move it over 1. You generally want this to be in the far right column over here, but I know the camera's a little blurry right now, so I put it in the second to middle column. But generally you want it to be right here. So I like to put my XCs far left because all your links will be far right. And sometimes you'll have Sprint, Muckraker, and then IP right here on your really, really, really broken hands, but that's without something. So we're gonna not show you that hand because that requires like blue, Beaver, and like 2 Runick spells. So there's no point. But you do get that hand quite often. And sometimes you just draw tip, and that's even better. So here, Jet, Search Starter. Then you're gonna link those away into a Sprint. Sprint effect. We'll then dump another Angler. And we'll get us our last Beaver out of our deck. Which this is actually not too bad, because we really don't need the Beaver that much, because now we have a Beaver for follow-up, so we can normal summon the Beaver, make a Muckraker, revive the Cap Shell, or do some stuff with it, or throw a Typhon on top. We can do a lot. Then we're gonna starter here, because I like to leave the Sprint on top. And we'll start it for blue. Blue will search out the carrot. And then we will Gigantic here. And the deck is just so crazy. It literally has unlimited amount of gas to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. Summon the cap shell. Gotta cut it up real quick. The draw is pretty important. If it's a tip, we go insane. If it's not, it's fine. Doesn't matter what it is. Then you link these two away, as always. Summon your Masquerena here. Capture will draw you a card. It's a Dispelling. It's actually a pretty good one. A lot of decks do search. Then you slap your carrot right there, and you pass. So this being one interrupt, even if not, it's still your opponent will add a card from their deck to their hand, which is actually really nuts because not a lot of people think it's that good, but it is. Unless you're going against tier, so this is a negate and a steal, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the upstart. So we upstarted into a tip. Tip will get us another interruption. That's 7 interruptions plus follow up plus 3 draws, because tip will get us additional search. Or 2 draws, because we'll get the draw off this to search this, and then we'll get 2 draws on your opponent's or on my next turn. So this is actually really insane. The deck is nuts. I just want to tell you that because you just sprint, detach from this, then you bounce a card, and then you can either steal the card or you can Masquerena this and anything else into. You can red after you've already used the sprint. There's that, and then carrot for the red, and then IP with this into the Little Knight, and then you just keep going here, and then you still got follow up. And if we do draw for turn, we got a Talents. Probably will be dead, but there you got fine. You can slap the Typhon or a Muckraker on top. So cool thing is that this is a Fiend also, so Muckraker can either protect this or revive it. It won't have the super Floodgatey card, but it's really good. A lot of times I will Muckraker back the cap shell and then slap this on top of the cap shell, detach from it, bounce a card, and then cap shell will draw a card. So, which is really insane. This card is just absolutely nuts. This makes the deck absolutely broken in every sense. I sometimes just slap this with the Runick spell set, or Runick spell in hand, and just this alone is pretty good. You just use this, and then you go into war with your little your main here, and that's basically like your Little Knight banishes a card, but it has to banish itself. Then you get like an upstart, so let's say you draw this, and then that's like 3 interrupts, but this card is super nuts, just being not able to be destroyed by battle card effects and then stealing a card. I think it's really underrated, and not a lot of people are ready for it in a sense. Not a lot of people can out it, and basically this just, on my turn, it's a call by. On your turn, it's just another red, so can negate monster effects engraved. Doesn't have to be on field, but it can negate on field and hand or anywhere else. So that's just a couple combo lines, guys. I know you wanted to see what they were, and everybody kept asking, and why I thought they were good. And if you did want to know why, that's definitely the reason why. The only change I made to the main deck is I took out the two droplets and put the 1 talents. We were running 42, and I didn't really like it. I took econs, I put 2 econs in and instead of the droplets, and I just really like the 1 talents, 41. So if I was going to run more than 40, it would be a card that was super impactful. And I haven't really found it yet, but Talents has been doing good for me since then. And everybody's running hand traps, everybody's running Valor because of the Rescue Ace deck. So we are really blessed that everybody's running hand traps, because this deck can eat like 2 or 3 hand traps per turn. like I said, if you do get hand trapped on your Hugin and you just don't draw the fountain, but I got pretty lucky today. But doesn't always happen. So your Runick spells aren't. They generate you a lot of advantage, but they don't have to. I tell people all the time, like, if they don't generate you all that advantage, that's perfectly fine. There's still 2 level 2 bodies that you need on your board. If you can achieve this board without getting the draws, which you sometimes can, it's really easy. And basically, just any of these cards will generally get you there. You honestly just need any 2 Runick spells. So these cards in combination will get you there. You need this and either 2 of these, or you need blue and this, and that'll get you there. And then the 2 Runick spells are just really good because they get you 2 bodies and they get you the Pot of Greed, versus this giving you your whole engine, and then this getting you the 1 angler that gets you into another angler. So it's really solid. So you basically just need any 2 of these, or any combination of these 3, or any combination of these 3 to get you there. And it looks like a 3-card combo, but it's not. Even if you just have 2-card combo, you just discard this and hope to draw another off the cap show, and then you'll basically Pot of Greed on your turn or your opponent's turn. I do like the Runick spells because, like I said, they do get you the Pot of Greed. They do make the deck what I consider broken, and basically very, very, very unfair, because being able to get a Pot of Greed on your turn and your opponent's turn is 4 cards, plus the cap shell is 5. You basically replenish your entire hand after making a full board. So the deck is really nuts. You don't miss any of the cards. I've discarded tons of droplets, tons of starters, tons of great cards. I've discarded Ash Blossoms all the time just to search the fountain. If it does get stopped, that's fine. I mean, they wasted a hand trap, and then you make your big guy, and then he normally just eats everything else. So, with that being said, this is the deck. If you want to see any more combo decks, let me know. If you want to see anything else, let me know. I'm currently working on a new deck right now. Just for the meantime, this deck is absolutely insane, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I'm trying to build, what we're trying to get at right now. Some Rescue HD of Bellstar. Like I said, it's the best deck. Not the best deck, I guess, but it's up there. I do consider this the best deck because it can play through tons of hand traps, which a lot of decks cannot. So that's just a small thing that I'm on, and I currently do not think there's a better deck than this. I've played tons of decks, and I've played against basically every matchup that's out there, and basically based off your side deck, you can change patterns and do whatever you want, and this deck does not struggle against basically anything. There's not a single card that shuts this down. Floodgates don't matter. You just blew into something and search a smasher, out's a floodgate. Plus you already run the 3 MSTs in the main deck and the Runick spells, so you have way more options than a lot of people think you do. All these cards are significantly great going second. You got the MST, you got a pop, you got an imperm, and then they just have the Runick name on top, so you're able to draw cards off of them. So this package is super underrated. I feel like a lot of people devalue the bodies that you get from these guys, and these guys are just nuts. These guys get you, this guy alone gets you full combo, so he can get you the other angler. Then you send another angler with your Sprint, get you 2 more. That gets you a Gigantic, that can get you a Blue Jet, and then a starter on top. So just one of these can get you full Spright combo. So if one of these can do all that, then you just incorporate some of these other engines on top. Then you're able to get so much farther ahead, and then you get the Little Knight IP within the gate, within the steel. Can't be a strawberry battle, puts tons of damage, puts tons of pressure, so you don't get your first battle phase. So basically you go to turn 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you should have resourced them out to basically nothing. And that's what I do consider this deck, is it's just really oppressive, and it just basically turns your opponent into like, when's the game going to be over? And which is really nice to absolutely know that you beat someone while having every bit of advantage, and they have literally nothing. I've seen people scoop after they just look at my board and then just go, all right, next game, because this board is absolutely uncrackable. It does lose to cards like Dark Ruler, and not to droplet in a sense, because you can have to drop it like 5 or 6 cards, and that's not very beneficial to most people. Evenly is pretty solid, but like I said, You do have Carrot still. You do have your Runick spells, so you can, unless they open like double evenly, then you're gonna get hit with all that. But might as well just keep your fountain. That's gonna generate you if you have Runick spells to generate your cards plus interruptions, and that can basically just rebuild your whole board again. So unless they have double evenly or evenly droplet or something like that, your board generally doesn't get cracked that easily. Kaijus are pretty good. Kurikaris are pretty that good. A lot of the board removal is pretty good, but I feel like nobody's really playing that right now, other than like Nibs. I've seen a couple Curries, but Curries don't take care of everything. Maybe take care of your big guy and then your Sprend. But like I'm saying, you already trade tons of cards to even get there. So if they're trading 2 cards, just to out 2 cards, then you just use your IP Masquerena to out it, the card they traded, and then you just Little Knight it away. And then, I mean, the deck is just nuts. And then the fact that the Runick cards, you can just summon them up there. I've gotten hit on my Sprint and my Draco Future, and I just summon the Sleipnir, and they go to battle phase because I think they're going to out my IP Masquerena. I summon Sleipnir in their battle phase and then just out both monsters, and then they're done. And they really don't know what this card does, and it's just basically a Little Knight, but without having to need a monster to trigger. So you just literally use it in your opponent's battle phase. Doesn't need a trigger effect, so it's really, really nice. That's mostly everything, guys. I do appreciate y'all for watching. Maybe I can do a couple live videos, show you how this deck goes second, now that you know how the deck goes first. I do want to get some live videos. I do got some live videos from locals coming up. Locals I did really, really well at. Obviously, the deck does really well on its own. You don't need anything else. The deck is literally one of the best decks I've played in a while. I see a lot of people hopping onto the Ghostrick train now. I saw Pearly trying to Ghostrick with Dullahan. So I'm glad. I'm not sure if I was the inventor, but I do know that this was not out there until I started playing it. So shout outs to everybody back out at Yellow City Gaming. Shout out to my sponsors and all of them. And everybody I test with for allowing us to try to start the channel and grow. Thank you everybody for watching. I need some QCRs of these if you got them. Please let me know. Thank you guys. This is Juan from the Autolock signing out, guys. All right, peace.